doesn't know what that shit is.
Ahem. Liquefied remains here to entertain, splattered by the wretch of snot oozing off your stump. Liquefied remains, dripping eyeballs and chum. What to do when the mastery of savage viscosity flows into hated-filled living rooms. Some of the majestic poetry you might find if you've ever listened to Squid Pisser. Hello, it's me, Kevin Vonesper. You are watching VonPod. Let me get the ticker on the bottom because you want to follow all the things. If you like me, hit the like, share, subscribe. Come on, get me to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Help me. Fight the algorithm. I'm really excited about this conversation we're going to have today with the one and only, well, we're going to find out who and what it exactly is. I'm going to try to find out. It's Squid Pisser. Are you ready for another crazy episode of VonPod? Are you? I'm not sure I am. Okay, I'm ready now.
VonPod. Welcome to VonPod. I've got chicken heads and deli creeps, scary monsters and super creeps on VonPod. You're listening to VonPod. With aliens and skunk dogs, I hope you're here to chat along to VonPod.
You can watch and chat with us live. Like and share and subscribe. It's always a surprise.
VonPod.
I see a cat. Oh, hello.
Dean Beans. Roaming
Bean
around.
Beans. That's my guest today. We're gonna be talking to this cat all day, all night. Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for
Is
having
this?
me.
Do I call you Baxter Yogurt? Is that your name?
That's what it says right there, huh?
That is what it says right there.
Oh,
I need to know how to address you.
Yeah, Baxter seems to work for this one, yes.
This one, you're like, well, that was a surprise even to me. How are you doing, Baxter Yogurt? I am just like, this is one of the coolest looking records in my collection, I gotta say right now.
Brad, thanks for grabbing that.
Yeah, of course. I have so many questions. I don't even know where to start. Where do you want to start? What do you want to tell the people of Earth? Hey, wait, was that you above Las Vegas last week?
Were there some lights in the sky?
There was some strange activity reported.
Um,
I'm not sure if you come from up there or down there. These are all things I want to find out about you today.
yeah, ask away. I mean, we can get into that stuff. Let's go for it.
What are you and what are you doing here?
Dang, how do I answer that?
I know. I'm here with the tough questions for you, Baxter Yogurt.
Yeah. That's some mission statement stuff, which, we're kind of, it's always evolving as the project is evolving. So I don't think it's even necessarily been declared or even discovered by us yet. So I think everyone's just going to have to wait and kind of see as more clues are kind of uncovered from album to album, perhaps. And maybe like within the lyrics and some of the written lore, maybe you can kind of deduce some of that stuff on your own, or
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say something like that. I want to know the lore, and you're not gonna give it to me, so I'm gonna have to like pry some shit out of you, or I don't know. Oh, there goes my place in the algorithm.
everything.
I already cursed. I can't
Yeah.
help it. It's okay. Well, Squid Pisser is pretty crazy stuff, man. And also, I gotta show this like splattery vinyl here. How many variants of this are there? Well, let's start with the geeky questions.
Yeah,
And is there
that
going to be a
sounds fun.
CD?
Not sure yet. We once we sell out of the records, which I don't know what the numbers are right now, but yeah, so we did half of them through 31G, Justin Pearson's label, and then we did half of them through my own label, Sweatband Records. So there are also some
Right.
blue black blob ones available.
Yeah,
And
which one do I have? I have the
that's the
it
31G
says
one.
both. It says both on here, so
I can tell by the colors. Yes, exactly.
yeah.
That's the 31G one. So yeah, very cool. Yeah, that record's kind of a long time in the making. I kind of had the idea to do this project for like 17 years or more, and finally got it together, or at least it's kind of forming right now still. But we were able to do a few records, and we have 2 more that are in the pipeline to be released soon. So that was the first one, and it was really exciting, kind of having a bunch of guest vocalists kind of like help get it a little bit of attention at least, so
Yeah, that's one question I want to ask with the guest vocalists. And some of them wrote their own lyrics. Did you give them like a sort of a guideline of like what kind of lyrics you wanted for this project? Or are they just kind of adding to the lore as they see fit as well?
Yeah, there was definitely some guidance in the beginning with each individual person. It was a different process for each person. So like Yako of Melt Banana, I just gave her a title, and that was My Tadpole Legion, and then she just ran with it. And she actually told me something interesting about in Japan, music notes on a staff, how they kind of look like little tadpoles. She said that
Right.
that's what they call those tadpoles in Japan. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then Nikki from Necrogoblicon wrote his own lyrics, and I knew that was just going to be batshit bonkers insanity. And I gave him some kind of like a direction to at first, which he took some of and then fucking went wild with. And then St. Anthony of Cancer Christ. I think he and I worked on that together, but that was a cover song actually. And we kind of adapted it to your own.
And one of these is actually a Cancer Christ cover song itself, right?
Did I get that wrong? Kind of. I mean, it's kind of like a Squid Pisser and a Cancer Christ song.
Yeah, because I was okay. I mean, can we give a reveal? Maybe you're in some other bands.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
totally.
might be involved with Cancer Christ as well. And I was just wondering, I'm like, wait, if the guy from the band they're covering is covering their own song, is it a cover?
Right. What is it then? Well,
Yeah.
it's actually a cover of some band that I saw when I was 16.
Oh.
And the song that always stuck in my head was just this local band from my hometown, and then that nobody had ever heard it, and I just always wanted to do it, so it felt like a good thing to do. And then just get, I love the collaborative thing, and like just getting everyone involved. It just makes everything kind of magical, because like I do so many things by myself in my studio by myself, just toiling away, and like, so whenever someone kind of sprinkles some of their own magic on it, or there's like some kind of connection to somebody else, it's just, I think that it's kind of like growing up, I was always like kind of this lone wolf. And then so anytime that I have this club now, or like this extended family creatively or whatever, it's like, and it exists in this tangible form of like a song or a performance or whatever, it just feels like it warms my heart kind of, because I guess I always had a longing for like some kind of camaraderie when I was younger. And like now I kind of am able to create that with music and art and stuff like that. So yeah,
I feel a lot of I relate to that statement a lot, because I'm also very much a lone wolf in my musical territory, but I also like bug all my friends to get involved and be like, here's 10 new songs, like put stuff on it if you want, or like, and it's always makes the product much more unique when it's like, here's my vision, and now add something that I totally couldn't have even thought of myself,
Yeah, exactly. It's the best.
Like personality just like makes the thing pop.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that too. And you do a lot of like video production and stuff like that too, which is so lonely a lot of the time, especially you're doing post stuff.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've spent hours just editing. Just
totally.
It takes a lot of patience, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
the hardest part of the job is the patience.
yeah, I can relate to that because I do similar stuff at times. So I feel you. So it's so great when everyone kind of comes together, even if it's just for like a recording session. Then that union lives on forever as this thing. You know?
Yeah. Even the recording sessions can be lonely though, because now everything's remote. I just like send off the tracks and they get something back. We're not
Yeah.
even in the same room together, but it still feels like company. I don't know. So
Yeah. And then on the opposite side of that too, it's like, oh wow, we never even spent any time together on this, but we're bonded by this thing forever. So I can relate to all of that stuff. I feel you.
how I know watched a video of what was your first show as Squid Pisser. Have you played any other shows since then, or was that the first and only show so far?
I think we did 2 more, and that's it was just Seth, Carolina, and myself, our drummer. We've been trying to find people to turn this into a 5-piece for a long time, for 3 years or something like that. And I've been searching for decades, honestly, for people who would like be into this type of stuff and kind of like not that it's super technical, but it's more demanding physically and technique wise, I guess, than a lot of people are comfortable with playing or something. So it's been really difficult finding people. But so yeah, we played that one show, and it was kind of a last minute thing. So we were like, fuck, are we ready to play a show? No, not really, but it'll be fun anyway, so let's do it. And but yeah, on that note, actually,
I wanted to show that these are some of the people that are joining your band, right? I've been seeing them pop up on your social medias.
Yeah, so we're really lucky to have just found Michael. He's actually upstairs right now. Maybe he'll make an appearance at some point.
Ooh, that's fun. Yeah, the more the merrier.
Cool. And then yeah, that's Seth, and then various guest vocalists. So here's a video that we've shot, and it's almost done.
We'll show some more video later. I just want to show like that what would you call your band? Your Tadpole Legion, or is that your fans? Like, what is the Tadpole Legion?
I think that's.
Are you a tadpole? Tell me a little bit about.
I just imagine it's like a bunch of splooge, honestly. Little swimmers, you know what I mean? That's one way to think about it.
What is that? Is that what you are, or is that like what your fans are? What is it?
I don't know if we have any fans just yet, so it's tough to say.
Well, we have several of them in the chat room. I know one of them's here right now. Deanna's here.
Oh yeah, what's up?
You got some fans.
Cool, Deanna. We were talking about you earlier. I think it was today. We don't know each other in person yet, but yeah, she seems super cool.
Yeah, same. I don't think I've met her in person either, but we are in the same area and probably have crossed paths many times. Probably like we have probably crossed paths many times too, or maybe not many times, but at least in the same
sphere.
Yeah, the circles.
Oh,
we're
you
in
know
the
what?
same circles.
That makes me think of too. So I don't know if you're aware. Wait, do you do a Gwar podcast?
Yes, I do the Gwar pod.
Okay, are you aware of Gwar cast?
Funny you mentioned that, because the first time I ever knew about you, although I didn't know it was you, was because of the Manx being on the Gwar cast.
Shit, look at that.
Yeah. And you know what? I want to say, just for the record, that I tried to get them to reunite the Gwar cast so they could have me as a guest.
Amazing.
And because they didn't, that was part of the reason I started my own show.
Wow, cool.
No disrespect to them. There's always space for more Gwar content, and I wish them the best. But I listened to that, of course, because I'm a big Gwar fan, and the first couple episodes, you guys were kind of like co-hosts in a way, right?
Yeah. It was just like a really fun way, an excuse for us to just all get together and drink beer and smoke cigarettes inside and and go off about crazy Gwar stories. Yeah, and I talk to those guys all the time. We're in the thread together, Gwar cast thread. So we're always cracking jokes about how like there's Gwar pod and
hey, come bring back the Gwar cast. We'll do a like a crossover episode.
That would be the coolest.
I imagine you guys just got way too busy going on tour and stuff to like really stay part of it.
I wish it was that. I think we ran out of Gwar stories to tell, and then we were also kind of too lazy to like get in touch with the Gwar people. I mean,
Right.
we were kind of becoming friendly with some of them and stuff. I think we had Hunter on, or we went to his place one time, I remember, and I don't know. I think me personally, yeah, I was like trying to focus more on music stuff, and just I was kind of always inundated with responsibilities. But the dudes kept going for a little while, and yeah, we talk every day. Like those guys are some of my best friends ever. So
oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'd like to meet them all one day. It's funny because like I've been into Gwar for 30 years or something like that, but I've never really been part of the community, although I know of the community. And now I guess because of this show, I'm like suddenly part of the community, even though I've never met these people in person. It's like, I know who Jesse Pringle is, you know, I know who these people are. I know who the Manx is.
Yeah, it's tight knit, and like, yeah, man, the camaraderie that you feel at a Gwar show. I mean, like that was one of the first things that I noticed is just like going as a teenager, and like everyone's just like, yeah, fucking Gwar, like just the best. Like, unlike at any other show I've ever been to, it's just like everyone's stoked to kind of see their.
Well, let's talk about Gwar. What's your history with them, and our, you know, what's your favorite album?
Oh man, yeah. Grew up on listening to Gwar and seeing them all the time. Violence Has Arrived. It's probably my favorite.
Nice. Yeah, that's a unique one. They need to put that on vinyl. They need to put that on vinyl, but like with the cover, they should open it on the inside and the cuttlefish just goes, you know, like a
on the real poster. I'm looking over there because it's up on my wall. I'd love to own that original painting. Is it at the Slave Pit?
I think it is. I've never been to the Slave Pit. I think it is there.
Yeah, I think Pringle sent me a picture or something. I don't know how he got it, but yeah, because on the CD the cuttlefish was omitted. It was that skull.
Right. Wasn't even. Yeah, that'd be great if you open it up and it's just like boom, right in your face, motherfucker.
Totally. Yeah, that one's a classic album. My favorite one. I don't know. Yeah, I've just always loved Gwar. Like the first time the first time I heard them, I was like, man, this is too cheesy for me. And
really? What did you hear?
Sick of You.
Okay, that is a cheesy song.
I was like, they look so sick. Oh man, it's like so weak.
The guy who co-wrote that song is going to be my next guest, Jim Thompson. He used to be their drummer.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Rad.
So I'm going to have to, you know, I think it was just a joke that they had on the bus that became like a song that became their most famous song, like as a joke. Like, I don't even think they're serious about that song.
Yeah, but that's like, I don't want to say do they close with it? No, I don't know. They always
now what they've been doing a couple times recent tours is they would play it like second and then say goodnight. And have like a whole joke like that's it. That's all we got.
I haven't seen them in a little while, but I'm going to be seeing them maybe a lot.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Did we say too much?
I mean, I'm just gonna go see them whenever I can. Is what I mean. Okay. But
well, are you so you're gonna go see them with Mudvayne and Cold Chamber?
Did they do that already?
No, not yet. It's coming up next month, I think.
I would go do that. I think the first Mudvayne record was really great.
Yeah, I saw Mudvayne once and I totally forgot that I saw them. Oh. But my connection to them is that I used to work at a company who managed Hell Yeah, which was a band with two of their members, with Vinnie Paul from Pantera, and I co-edited the Hell Yeah DVD.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm a big fan of them or not, but that's my connection to them.
Yeah, cool.
I do love Cold Chamber, although they don't look as cool. They don't have the costumes and stuff.
Gotta keep looking cool.
Yeah, I mean they look cool, but they're not like between Gwar and Mudvayne. They're gonna look pretty lame.
That's rough. It's tough up against those guys.
Yeah. What about? So I also, and I want to show this off because I've shown this on the Gwar pod, but I haven't showed this on the VonPod. That's the name of this show, right? Is my Craction figure from John Poppy. This is Kevin the Dinosaur, my green Jello character in action figure form, and I just wanted to tell everyone that I'm fucking cool as hell, and someone made an action figure now. Not that you can buy it; it's a one of a kind, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm still feel honored. I can put this next to my Gwar toys, and you know.
You're right there with them. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Do you have a history with? Well, okay. You're obviously a theatrical type of. Many of your bands have a theatrical nature to it. What other theatrical bands were you into growing up, or now? Obviously.
Yeah. I mean, some of the big ones for me, it's like Buckethead. I mean, these are all the things going back
We're
to when I
gonna talk
was.
about Buckethead. We're gonna have a
Oh,
whole conversation about Buckethead. Yeah.
I just saw you had Maximum Bob on, which is
Mm-hmm.
really cool.
Dude, he's so cool. I love the Deli
Yeah.
Creeps.
Yeah, that was the first thing I had ever heard. It was his VHS tape.
Wow.
And I watched it. Buckethead didn't even have a bucket on his head at this performance. It was just, and I watched it over and over again. It was like half an hour, 45-minute long performance. And he was like tapping and stuff. I'm like, what is happening?
Dude,
and then just
I mean,
ripping.
the whole concept of Deli Creeps is just like, that's one of my favorite things of all time. Like, I love Buckethead, but Deli Creeps I really love.
Yeah,
Because
there's
it's
a
wrapped
special
up in this. It's like he's a whole concept, and that band's a whole concept on top of that concept.
Yeah, it's a lot of great stuff.
I found out that they did a bunch of shows with Gwar back in the 90s. So,
I think
how,
I had
like,
heard that
oh my
too.
God, how cool would that have been to see?
Yeah, if you could fly back into time, that'd be one of them.
I know, yeah. That, and I don't know if you know, I'm making a documentary about another theatrical band of that realm called Haunted Garage. Do you know anything about Haunted Garage?
Not a lot, but I saw that you're making that, and I've listened a bit, but I don't know enough about them really. No.
That's why I'm making it. No, not enough people know about them. Like, hey, Gwar's got a documentary, but everyone knows who Gwar is. Nobody knows who Haunted Garage is, and they have to. I'll play you the trailer later.
Cool. Yeah. I'm excited to see it. Yeah. How long are you being done with that?
Oh God, unless you're an angel investor, you're gonna have to wait a while, because I'm doing it on my free time and I'm doing it myself, and there's not a lot of time for it.
Yeah.
But it'll happen. It's happening. I did over almost 50 interviews, so
wow.
It exists. It's just not. Post-production
together.
takes a long time, especially if it's not your main job. I have to it's my side project.
Totally get it. Are you doing all the post stuff?
So far, yeah. I mean, I don't have a budget, so I can't hire anybody else to help me at this point.
I bet you could crowdfund something.
I did a crowdfunding like last year for it, and which was great, but the thing is, nobody really knows who they are, so
right, that's why
it can only go so far. And I basically made just enough money to cover what I had already spent on it, so I kind of was left at zero.
Yeah,
which is good, but not good enough.
yeah.
So I need to get a little bit further with it before I ask people to, for anything again. I gotta prove myself. Hopefully this summer I'll get some serious work done on it.
Cool. Yeah. I'm excited to see it. Yeah, I've always heard of
Hunter's in it.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I think
Pringle,
actually, Guarcast Pringle was and Olgin Travis were telling me about them. Maybe it had something to do with you too.
Well, they were maybe. I mean, they were both on Metal Blade at the same time, so they got a lot of comparisons to each other at the time. Well, Gwar was always a little bit more famous, so
yeah.
And then they also did lots of stuff with Green Jelly. They were an LA band, so they were into that whole scene. And Pygmy Love Circus, which had another band that what's his name, the drummer from Tool was in. So, yeah, it's like a whole, if you were in LA between 86 and 92, you definitely knew who Haunted Garage was.
Yeah.
Do you have any history with Green Jelly, and are you a member of Green Jelly?
No, but one of my bands had played with the Radioactive Chicken Heads.
I was in the Radioactive Chicken Heads.
Yeah, I saw that. That was.
I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to say it like that. I mean, I think my brain got transferred into a chicken head for a tour.
Right. Oh, okay. Yes. Did you play in LA?
Twice. I don't live in LA, so I
what
only
year
did.
Was it?
This was 2008, and I did all the shows on the tour they did with Green Jelly.
Oh,
so shit. We were basically 3 bands in one bus. It was kind of like everyone was in each other's band. So it was the Radioactive Chickenheads, Rosemary's Billy Goat, and Green Jello.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
Trio treats.
hello. Oh,
Maybe.
oh, it speaks.
Mm-hmm. Love you,
Yes. What do I? Okay. So, where do I want to go with this? I still have so many questions. You're so I know the Squid Pisser lore is kind of ongoing, but you Cancer Christ and the Manx, these all have theatrical elements to it. Did they have a lore and a mythos? And is it connected? Is it like a one big universe?
I feel like they are probably all part of the same universe, because there's this like vernacular that each one of the bands kind of comes up with, and like I've always been a large part of each of those, kind of like contributing to those vernaculars for each project and stuff. So yeah, there's definitely crossover and references to other things from all different kinds of songs. I think the Manx was very, very kind of like this weird puzzle, and like it was kind of like a riddle where like each song was referencing this other thing and all these inside jokes and things like that. And then so that kind of like approach carries over to the other things we do, but that I've been doing. But it's always different with the different group of guys that you have, you know. So there's different types of it's all, a lot of it's based out of like, you know, our kind of whatever it is that we're trying to do with the project. Like with Cancer Christ, it's a lot about hypocrisy and a lot of things. I'd rather.
Here's the Manx. I just wanted to show it while you're talking.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks like, you know what that reminds me of? Like a more disgusting version of the Aquabats.
Yeah, I never really checked out the Aquabats.
Oh, you'd probably love them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the Manx was really fun. The Manx was kind of like a weird experiment we did for 10 years.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe, I don't know if this is an answerable question, but is the Manx sort of like on a permanent vacation?
Yeah, at this point, for sure.
You're a messy band.
It was always fun. And
did you get a lot of showers on tour? Because
we would
it's
have
rough
to,
out there.
We messed up a lot of hotel rooms, you know, and people's couches and stuff like that, for sure.
And this is just disgusting.
Our buddy Mike Manischewitz shot and directed and did all the post work on this one, and I forget how many locations we did, but it was a lot of days and a lot of crazy bullshit. Like, you know, it's kind of changing from every 5 seconds almost.
Yeah, the videos are very impressive. As a video editor, you know, sometimes I'm like, holy shit, someone put a lot of work into this.
Yeah, that's Mike Manischewitz, blockbustervideo.org if you want to check out his other work. And then he and I are working together on a bunch of stuff. Squid Pisser, he shot that Liquefied Remains video and edited it. And then a bunch of Cancer Christ stuff. He has a new Cancer Christ video that's going to come out soon.
Yes, let's talk about Cancer Christ. Sorry I cut you off on that, but I was pulling up the Manx.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about Cancer Christ, because this seems like it's a whole other concept, like on top of everything. And pre-ordered the 7-inch. I pre-ordered mine.
Cool. What color did you get?
I don't remember. I'm gonna be surprised when it comes.
Cool. I like that. Yeah, Cancer Christ. That was so Saint Anthony, the singer, had never been in a band before, and he was just always at shows. He'd go to Manx shows and just all the local LA shows, and he's an amazing photographer, and he would always get the best pictures, you know, of any of my bands that I have ever seen. So and a lot of people's bands, I'm sure. And he and I became friends kind of through that, and then during the pandemic we decided to do this compilation album for Sweatband Records, and it was like 19 different bands. And so he and I worked together on that. That was our first time doing anything. And then we're like, we should make a band, like well, we had started talking about doing something kind of to address, like, you know, the hypocrisy of Christianity and all these religions and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. and we had many discussions based off of that. And then I started just kind of doing some demos, and I sent him some demos, and it was during the pandemic. He went into his garage. I gave him a microphone. He went to his garage. It was like middle of summer or something like that at one point. And he was sweating, and he recorded like the first version of the very first music video he came out, Blood of Jesus. And I was like, wow, he actually did it. Because I talk about doing collaboration with lots of people, and a lot of people don't deliver. And he actually had like gone into his garage and like fucking done it. And so I was like, cool, let's do another one. Let's do another one. And then, you know, he wanted to kind of start getting into like show promoting too. So he's like, I'm going to throw a show under the 6th Street Bridge in downtown LA. And we'll get Cancer Christ. I'm like, okay, cool. We don't have a band. It's just you and me.
Yeah.
We you know, looked around and snatched up, you know, whatever bass player and drummer we had at the time. And like got together really quickly and did probably a few practices, and then just played under the 6th Street Bridge. And then it just kind of like kept going. And then, you know, now we're where we are, and we have a lot to do still. But
And what's the story of the snake characters?
I think Saint Anthony like found us maybe in Christ's tomb or something like that, when he was like, you know, making the trek back to find himself after being addicted to drugs for many years. And then but the Snake Boys turned out to be like his saviors and got him into music, and or maybe it was vice versa. I don't really remember the lore. Is there lore? I don't know. Maybe I'm
not sure. That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I think it's more just about kind of like the living in what you know, when you're at a show, it's like doesn't matter. It's just about all that's in front of you right now.
He looks like a very charismatic character. I think I would join his cult.
A lot of people are.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Yeah.
You won over the House of Masks with that one.
Yeah. That
I
was
saw
cool.
that. He was kind of like not too big on Squid Pisser, but he loved Cancer Christ.
Yeah.
Former guest on the Gwar pod, by the way. AJ from the
nice.
House of Masks, yes.
Gwar
is actually his favorite band, even though he is the Slipknot guy.
Yeah. I've seen some of his Gwar collection. He's got some good stuff.
Oh yeah, it's very extensive. He's part of the Gwar Museum, you know.
Yeah.
Preserving some of that stuff and
it's important.
Getting those guys paid for it.
Yeah.
Yo, I gotta hook you up with Green Jelly. You know they do a monthly show, or I don't know if it's once a month or 2 times a month, but they do a free 3-hour variety show at the Whiskey A Go Go, and they broadcast it live on the internet. And they've been doing it for years. Well, it was in his living room for like 2 years, and now it's at the Whiskey A Go Go. And you guys should play. I mean, I think you would fit. Any of the bands.
Yeah. Maybe so. Yeah. That would be cool to check it out. I haven't been to the Whiskey and
I've actually never been. I walked by it once, but that's about it. I got to get to LA more often. I feel like I have more contacts in LA than I do here in New York at this point. My Green Jelly puppet family, you know?
Yeah.
Who did the artwork? This is some crazy stuff, and this is just horrifying. This is very hard to look at.
Yeah, that's this dude I had found. He goes by a Good Looking Dog on Instagram. His name's Jonathan, and yeah, we had collaborated on that back and forth a bit. And then I had my friend Andy Wallace. He goes by Displaced Replaced.
Andy Wallace, like the producer?
Different.
Okay.
Different. And he kind of like helped out with the layout a bunch too.
So I heard you say once that you had like maybe 100 demos for Squid Pisser.
Yeah.
But how did half of your album become cover songs?
We had gone in to record like 22 songs, and then we decided to split everything up into several different albums. And we thought kind of while we're going in, we can just tack on a few extras. And we said, let's just do 2 covers. And these would go well with like this kind of variety album that we're doing. And then we have like a full length that's just Seth and I, and then another thing that's just Seth and I. So we kind of wanted to just do a
Okay.
bit of a more of kind of a sampler platter of like sounds and
Right.
stuff like that, just to kind of come out with.
Would you, out of all the bands, and I think I know the answer, but I want to ask you anyways, of all the bands you've been in, which one do you think represents you the most? Like, what's the most you? And is it Squid Pisser?
Yeah, I'd have to say Squid Pisser probably at this point. I mean, like everything else was like a compromise in some way. And for one reason or another. And then like Squid Pisser is kind of just like I had kind of like conceptualized it over the course of many years and then decided to just start doing it. And then I was lucky enough to find Seth, our drummer, and he was just kind of like, fuck yeah, this is great. I'm on board. And since it's just been he and I for a while, I've been kind of like steering it largely, you know? And I wanted to too, like, create something from the beginning without having it be a huge democracy, because I had done that a bunch of times, and like, and it's cool. I mean, those were experimental. It's going back to that collaboration kind of conversation we had earlier. But I really wanted to just kind of like be like, here's my checklist. I want this band to check all of them once and for all, kind of. So that's why I'd say it's probably most like uniquely, you know.
Yeah, when Squid Pisser goes on tour, is there gonna be a splatter zone of sorts, or
I feel like if you're playing fun, like boisterous music, why wouldn't you just always be spraying stuff on the crowd? Because
perfect.
like,
So
why
wear my finest white suit, right?
I would say so. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know yet. You know, it depends on like if we have the manpower to do it. We don't even have a band right now fully.
Right. I was gonna ask, like, is there any potential touring plans in the works, or is it all?
We have 2 shows. We have one in August in LA, one in November, I think it is, at the Pucifer store in Jerome, Arizona. And then we have one date in Europe, in Denmark, in February at some festival that we're trying to set a tour up around.
Denmark, wow.
Yeah, so we need to find a band before all of that stuff happens. But we're in talks with some people, and we're doing everything we can, so we'll figure it out.
Speaking of bands, I know some people who want to start some like grindy, heavy music on the East Coast. Do you know any good East Coast grindy drummers?
No.
No. Okay. Check that one off the list. I tried. I can say that I tried.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think so. I'm keeping tabs on drummers at all times, and
oh yeah, are you looking for any?
Just my whole life, I've always been trying to find good drummers, you know. I know a lot of them, but
do you know the Sawtooth Grin?
So I've talked to him too, John
Carroll.
Yeah, I've talked to him too.
He's a local. He's from my town, so I've been watching him play in bands for like 20-something years.
Oh shit! Horse the Band was one of my favorites. I know.
I never got to see him in Horse because he only did it in Europe. But yeah, I loved him. I've seen them a couple times, but not with him. I saw them in a cafe once.
Oh, that's awesome!
Like before they blew up, like it was just like move the tables out of the way and play on the floor kind of situation.
Yeah. That's the best. Yeah, I saw them even after they had blown up. I saw them at this tiny little bar in downtown LA called 5 Star Bars, right next to the Smell, which is this awesome all ages venue downtown.
Nice.
And it was totally bonkers. Every time you see them, it's totally fucking bonkers. They're like the best.
Yeah, fucking Cuts Man is the best.
Classic.
Yeah, I just Sawtooth Grin just put out a new record and with him, and I filmed their first show in 20 years a couple of weeks ago. It was pretty rad.
Yeah, I was kind of keeping tabs on that. I was talking to John for a little bit about maybe teaming up on something together.
You should. I mean, that guy's a god on the drums. I don't know if he's looking for projects or not. I can't speak for him, but my god, I would go see bands just because he was in it, you know.
Yeah, he rips for sure.
And speaking of bands he used to be in, one of my upcoming episodes is with Negative Hate, which he was a band that he was in, and I just helped them shoot a music video. One of my first local bands that I ever saw in 1999, and they still exist in some form, so kudos to them for that.
Rad, yeah.
Yeah, 20 some almost 25 years later, still a local band. Um,
It's rough out there.
I want to talk a little bit about the broccoli tacos. Did I get that correct?
Our singer didn't know how to spell. He legitimately didn't know how to
Is
spell.
that why I can't find the Bandcamp right now?
Probably it's
Because I was trying to look for it again and I couldn't find it.
yeah, it's Brockly, and that's because our singer didn't know how to spell. And when we were in high school, I think he was a freshman, and I was a few years older than him, and I was like, he had written, we had decided on the Broccoli Tacos as the band name, and he had written it down. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting way to spell it, and then we just went with it. So yeah.
That's funny. Okay, I found it. That was it. I was actually looking for broccoli proper. So
Broccoli. Yeah, this one's
yeah,
broccoli.
broccoli. Oh yeah. So going back to the Gwar thing, there's a Gwar connection here, right?
Yeah, we got Dave Brocky onto a track.
Yes, tell me about that.
So, yeah, that's kind of interesting. So my friend Mike Chillian and I,
Mike
he's the
Jillian from the Gwar cast, right?
yes, and the
Mhm.
accordion player of the Manx and a million other things.
Mhm.
What were we doing? Oh, he had this cartoon for this thing called Channel 101. It was called McBusters. It's like McDonald's and Ghostbusters. And we were working on that together. He had asked me to help animate on it and stuff, and which I was doing. And then we were listening to a lot of Gwar at the time. What had just come out?
Was this before or after the Gwar cartoon that he did?
Before. So this is how we met Dave Brocky. It was, we were doing this cartoon called McBusters. We were on episode 2, and then we knew we had to do episode 3, and we were listening to a bunch of Gwar. We were animating. We're like, what if we could get Dave Brocky? Like, I know his email address. We hit him up. He hit us back. He was playing a show at House of Blues in LA, which we used to go see him there all the time. And we went and hung out backstage or whatever, and like recorded him, got him on this cartoon called McBusters 3. And then from there, we're like, shit, we should do like a full-on Gwar cartoon. And it was the most amount of free work
Sure.
Mike and I never want to do again. But it was cool. It was fun.
But you were involved with that?
Yeah.
What was your role in that? And because I mean, for those who haven't seen it, not only was it Gwar, but special guest Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, that was like through another connection. We all work in animation, so like a lot of connections to voice actors and comedy people and stuff like that. It's just LA.
And that Gwar cameo in Rick and Morty, by the way, right?
So that was Mike Chillian who did that in the pilot episode. Yeah, Beefcake and Odorous, right, at the airport, whatever it is.
I don't know. He's like ziplining through a scene or something.
Right. It looks like an airport to me. That's what I think of. So yeah, that's Mike Chillian, and then we I made the Gwar cartoon, and that took like fucking 2 years or something, because it was the same situation. Yeah. We were like working on it when we're not working, or not working on our other thing. Right.
So people asking me about the documentary, just think about how long it took for a 10-minute cartoon.
Yeah, exactly.
I might be, eventually I'm going to be looking for animators to do some cut, scenes for this documentary. So I'm just noting that in my head, like I should talk to you guys.
Yeah. It's been a while. I'm pretty out of touch. And anytime I've ever recommended an animator to somebody, animators are used to getting paid a certain amount from the studios, and DIY projects.
I got that Haunted Garage budget, which is nothing.
It's rough. But there are easier ways to animate things in 2023 than there were even 10 years ago or whatever. So, but I did music on the Gwar, the animated Tales of Gwar. I made the theme song and then the score, and then I animated a bunch and I drew some pictures, and I think that's about it. Maybe I did sound design, maybe too. I can't remember. Maybe. And then I think I edited it too. Did I? I can't remember.
And then how is that connected to the broccoli tacos?
Oh, so that's when, because I was working on a broccoli tacos album.
This one.
Child mayonnaise, yes. So I was like, oh, I didn't have any tracks like there with me or whatever. I'm like, hey, would you want to do this thing? It'd be cool to Brocky. I forget where we were, like in his hotel room or something. He was down in LA for some reason. And he's like, yeah, totally. What do you want me to say? And so I just like had him do some things in the theme of like the song. And yeah, I don't think I finished that till after he had passed.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it was 2016 I put it out. And
I'm missing. I didn't know about this until recently, so it's one of the things I'm missing in my Gwar collection. If you find any cassette tapes in your garage or anything,
those are sold out, but I
yeah,
might be
right.
able to get one
Just
day.
putting it out there,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
If
It
you
was-
look over here is my whole Gwar cave of stuff.
Oh, nice. I've got quite a bit of Gwar stuff myself.
But this isn't the Gwar pod. This is the Squid Pisser pod. Squid Piss pod. Piss pod.
I like piss
There's
pod.
something in there.
Piss
You guys
pod.
should start a podcast.
Yeah,
Piss pod.
we need something. We
My
need
Tad
official lore.
pod legion.
Yeah.
So I mean, I listened to your Broccoli Tacos records, and I had I thought it was very interesting stuff, and I was wondering if you had heard of the Left Rights.
Sounds familiar.
It's a side project of my mindless self-indulgence.
Oh, okay. I'm not super familiar with it, but the name sounds familiar. Maybe I'm thinking of the Ain't Rights.
I don't know what that one is.
From that Green Room movie.
Oh,
That's maybe what I'm thinking about. No, I'm not sure.
Was that Nazi punk movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And also like Mr. Bungle, I'm sure, was that an influence?
It was more this band Nuclear Rabbit. I don't know if you're familiar with them. That was
I've heard you talk about them. Tell me about them.
They kicked me off into like weirdo shit, They were from my hometown, and my sister was living with the bass player, who's like this badass, awesome bass player. His name's Gene Bodine. Anyways,
That's a cool name.
Gene Bodine.
Yeah.
I picked up a CD out of their living room. It was their first CD. It came out in '97. Vicuna, I think is how you say it. Anyways, it changed my life basically. And then like that was before I had even heard Primus or anything. But it's all slappy and like weird, wacky time signatures and like very dynamic vocals and stuff, and just kind of zany and a lot of humor and stuff. But it was mean too. So that kind of like kicked me off into like aggressive weirdo shit. But then Mr. Bungle came like a few years later, and they were fun to check out. And then Phantom Moss was probably my favorite. It was for sure my favorite thing that Patton has ever done.
Phantom Moss. Yeah, I never got to see that project. Oh, I've seen half of that band in my God, I can't get all his bands together. You know the one.
Oh right. I know
with
that.
your friends in it.
Oh, in Pieces. Are you talking about Dead Cross?
Dead Cross, exactly. Yes.
Oh right, because Dave Lombardo.
Yeah, it was in Phantom Moss too.
Oh, and Patton, right? Yeah, exactly.
Patton, yeah.
I'm like,
so I saw half of them in that band together, and in the Warsaw in Brooklyn.
Oh, cool.
There was a song. I don't know. I wrote these notes a couple of weeks ago, and they're a little chicken scratchy. Neon Penguins. Is that a song?
That was more of a solo thing that I had done.
Okay. It sounds like, I don't know. So we're getting back on the Buckethead thing. Have you ever heard his side project Zillatron?
Probably, but it's not coming to mind.
Because it sounded a bit like Zillatron. That was an album he did with Bootsy Collins.
Oh,
but it was like Bootsy Collins being like sort of metal. It was awesome.
Cool. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've listened to it. I've listened to like everything, I think. Minus like the 575 Pikes.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
more? I don't know.
As much of a Buckethead fan as I am, like I'm like 300 albums behind.
Yeah, me too.
Him.
But I put them on all the time, and I just have them play. And I'm like, oh, this Buckethead just keeping me company.
Do you have a favorite like classic Buckethead record?
A classic one?
Well, like pre-Pikes, I guess, or including albums he did with other people.
Sure. I think like somewhere over the slaughterhouse is really great, and then
I had that on my notes. Maybe I heard you say that, and I wanted to say that I agree with you. Like that's such an underrated record, and I think that's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, it's so nasty, but then beautiful in that one moment, kind of.
Dude, everyone go check out Somewhere Over the Slaughterhouse. It's fucking rad.
Classic. I love the artwork for that one too. It's just all like kind of gross, like 8-bit, just kind of like, I don't know about 8-bit, but it's just all like kind of
shitty.
Yeah, shitty, exactly.
Yeah.
And then Tunnel Weaver. Wait, is that what? Funnel Weaver? Funnel
Tunnel-
Weavers.
Yeah. Okay.
That
Yeah.
one's
Yeah.
cool too. Trying to think what else. And then
So you like the ones he does with like the techno beats.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Those
I
are
like
cool
all that
records.
shit.
What about Cobra Strike?
Yeah, I had some of those CDs. I might still have some of them. At least one I remember. Yeah, Cobra Strike, all that shit. Death Cube K, like all anything I could get. Corn Bugs,
Yeah, dude.
Psycho.
Bill Mosley's in my documentary
Oh, amazing.
about Haunted Garage, and I got to go to his house, and he showed me some like
Whoa.
Corn Bugs paintings and stuff like that. Yeah, it was so
pretty
rad. I had the original Corn Bugs CD back when he would just burn CDRs and handwrite the tracks.
Psycho?
So I was like, yeah, Psycho.
Me too.
Yeah, Spot the Psycho. And I was like, I brought this to show you, but like I don't need you to autograph it because it's already autographed.
I have one in my
I just-
garage right now. It's from when I was 16. He sent it to me. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was,
Is
he
it
was
a
just like,
picture
holy
of
crap.
top like with the thing like this? And there's like
Yeah, with the hanger, right?
I have it framed in my garage downstairs.
That's so
like, in
cool.
a box right now, but I have to get it out.
Yeah, Corn Bugs, that's some crazy stuff. Okay, I'm almost done with the broccoli tacos. I don't know how this became the broccoli taco cast, but I listened to it and I had a lot of thoughts about it. There's a song called Pea Snowball. Is that basically, I gotta call you out a little bit. Is that kind of like Meat Sandwich?
Oh, oh yes, it was exactly Meat Sandwich.
I heard it. I was like, is this a cover?
Yes. I remember we were going to see Nuclear Rabbit that night, Jesse and I. And then we started singing Pea Snowball. And it's like Meat Sandwich, Meat Pea Snowball. We'll just do our own version. That's
okay. So I totally
Nobody's
nailed
ever
it.
said that before.
Really?
And I haven't thought about that since I was 16. So that's
Wow.
crazy. Yeah. Wow. Thanks for.
Yeah, I guess you're welcome. And of course, on the Buckethead tip, you actually did a cover of Post Office Buddy. So you actually covered a Buckethead song on your record.
Yeah.
Was that you doing the Iggy Pop parts? Because that was the Iggy Pop collaboration.
Oh, that was our singer who didn't know how to spell broccoli, Jesse Maxwell. That's crazy. I don't know if anyone's ever checked that out besides you.
Well, hey, I know Deanna told you I did my research, and I did some research, so I'm digging up the dirt, man.
Nice, I like it.
Let's see, what do I got in my... Okay. I don't know what you can do with this, but I have it in my notes. I have a merchandising idea for you. I love me some good energy drinks. This one actually, I think is way better than it should be. Although, no, I don't even know what it's called. It's a weird alien language. But I feel like Squid Pisser needs a drink called Liquefied Remains.
Maybe there.
So I don't know who can make that for you, but that would be an interesting.
Yeah, I'm into that idea. Yeah, I think Cancer Christ is kind of like. I think Squid Pisser is still trying to like get up and running and like it's just attain more people to kind of help support this thing and grow it and stuff like that. It's largely been me and my computer for a long time, and then Seth and I when we can get together and stuff, and then now Michael's here. So anyways, that stuff I think will come, but I think Cancer Christ is kind of like more on that tip right now. Is like
is there any Cancer Christ touring plans coming up? Like when are any of your bands coming to the East Coast? When can I come see you play?
October.
Yeah, Cancer Christ?
Yeah.
Where do you know where you're playing?
I forget. I have it written down somewhere. I'll tell you later.
Cool. Yeah. Well, that's sweet.
Yeah. And then I think that's the first and only one that we have right now is some kind of East Coast October tour, I think.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Let me give some love to the chat here. You got one fan here in Chad Beck.
Oh, hey, Chad Beck. Yes.
Nothingness Prevails says Squid Pisser.
Oh, fuck.
And that did that also come? Is there a Nuclear Rabbit story behind the name Squid Pisser, or am I remembering?
Oh
that
yeah,
wrong?
I had talked about that on
I got a useful information for. I wanted to be the first interview with Squid Pisser, but I'm kind of glad it wasn't because I got a lot of good information from that.
Oh, good. Thanks for listening. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
I gotta see. I don't want to tread all the same territory.
Yeah, that Squid Pisser kind of was derived from what we thought the singer of Nuclear Rabbit was saying, Squid Squisher.
Oh, right.
I
That's
mean,
what
but
it was.
but it also kind of went through this whole roundabout thing of like being a Razzle Blaster song, which is like another band that I was doing, and then
I
back.
listened to that too. I didn't have any questions about it though.
Okay, yeah, that's basically Razzle Blaster was very short lived and broke up, and then I always wanted to continue it, and so I kind of just like time warped to this, and it's basically in my mind like me scratching that itch that I've had for the last like 15 years of like Razzle Blaster. Wasn't able to kind of get that off the ground, so I want to take that idea and do everything I wanted to with it with Squid Pisser. So
Nice. Is there gonna be? Oh wait, let me finish these comments. Such wisdom, says Lady Snuff. Thank you. You both look very cool. Well, thank you. I know. I don't know. I'm not as pretty as the tadpole over here, but oh, that's an interesting framed picture in the background. What is this framed picture in your background?
That is a painter
Let's
who's a friend of mine named Gregory Jacobson. He's in Chicago, and he's like super prolific and a musician and a painter and like all around just creative madman and super sweet, interesting fellow. Gregory Jacobson. Check out his stuff.
nice.
Yeah.
Here, I figured your videos are pretty short. Maybe we could talk over and do some commentary, if that's cool.
Cool.
Let me pull it up. With that, I want to ask, like, do you think eventually there's going to be like a Squid Pisser movie or what?
Do I think what?
Is it like a Squid Pisser movie?
If we would do a Squid Pisser movie?
Yeah,
It
looks like there's a story in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, nothing's off the table. I mean, that I'd love to do everything, you know? It's like I want to do everything.
And speaking of Gwar, I've seen Necrogoblicon with Gwar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They've done some tours together.
I think I'm gonna go see them 2 nights from now in LA at 1720
Nice.
this venue.
Who are they playing with these days?
I forget who's opening. Aether Realm, I think, is some of their friends. I forget who else is on that tour right now, but I think they're just getting off like a 30-day tour, something like that. Actually, Alex, their guitar player's helping manage Squid Pisser right now and kind of like helping us with some opportunities and things like that. So we're teaming up in a big way. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to go check them out. I haven't seen them in a few years. The Manx had gone on tour with them a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
We used to play with them when the Manx was a folk band. We would play with them like before that that huge video that they did came out, No One Survives. And so we would just play like the Pasadena Old Town pub to like 10 people. It was like the Manx and Necrogoblicon, and then they like skyrocketed. But we've always been friends, so those guys are really great and really sweet and really fucking talented. So it's good to see them like still doing
what was the instrument you were playing in the Manx? It wasn't quite a guitar.
It was a banjo in the beginning. We were like strictly a folk band, and then it kind of like evolved into this weird bizarro thing where it was like a 5-string guitar tuned like a banjo, but with a super low string instead of a super high string. It was just like too many hats on tops of hats. Maybe not too many, but like again, it was like a fun experiment that we did. It was very experimental.
I was gonna say, like, it looks like you had a pretty easy load in with that thing.
Yeah.
Did you like have an amp dedicated to that instrument, or how was that set up?
After a while, yes. Actually, have you seen our arcade cabinets, our video game arcade?
I saw that music video, and I saw that you have it in the background of your concerts. Is that like part of the storyline, or what's the deal with that?
Yeah, we just had these songs that we turned into video game cabinets that were our speakers and amplifiers. So actually, Gregory Jacobson did mine. It's called Hateful Goo, which is a song that we had. And so again, it's just like all these weird things that are connected that most people can't necessarily see, but like to us, and maybe you could do the research and figure it out. It's like, but it is kind of like a weird puzzle that kind of the Manx guys and I would just like entertain ourselves with, you know.
Sure, yeah, there's a lot of time to think about stuff like that when you're on tour. Hey, the shows are great, but most of touring is pretty boring. You're just hanging out waiting for shit to happen.
Yes, very true. Yeah.
Should do a Squid Pisser and Gwar combat scenario like Ghoul did with Cancer. What did Ghoul do with Cancer Christ?
We played a show together at this place called Poor Kids Mansion. Yeah. In LA like a few months ago, I think, a couple months ago. And it was just a show we did together. We didn't actually like have a battle on stage or anything like that. But yeah, I would love to do that. I want to team up with Gwar again somehow. So maybe we will.
That would be sweet. Hey, that would be if you toured with Gwar, I can just see you both in one show and two birds with one stone. Yeah, exactly. I'm getting old, you know. I can't be going out every night.
I feel that.
Even though, you know, I try to get out there. I'm gonna go film a show tomorrow. Actually, if Deanna, if you wanna, I don't know, does Deanna know what the Meat Locker is? I'm gonna put that out there. I'm gonna be at the Meat Locker with a guest. Actually, that's a good question because it's a good time, I think, to promote the upcoming shows. Of course, right now you are watching Squid Pisser on VonPod, and next week we have something completely different, which is Melissa R. Kaplan from Splashdown. You guys, you got to go with me on this. I know you might not know who a lot of my guests are, but like this conversation right now, they're all going to be equally as fascinating conversations. Trust me, I know how to pick them. Even if you don't know who they are, join me and discover a new story. This is one of the best records that never came out. Another casualty of the record industry of the 90s. So we're going to get the full story next week. Dude, are you into industrial music at all?
I like some industrial stuff. I've never really gotten into Gravity Kills.
Yeah, I wore this CD out like crazy in the 90s. They just re-released it for its 30th anniversary, if you can believe that. Oh boy, we're getting old. And it's yeah, I'm gonna talk to him about the legacy of Gravity Kills and ask them what it was like to tour with the Sex Pistols.
Rad.
This is the band I'll be filming tomorrow at the Meat Locker. Probably the youngest guests I've had on the show so far, but you know, I want to know what the youth are thinking and if they can save, you know, there's not many youthful bands I see coming up, but maybe I'm just not looking in the right places. So I want to see if the youth are going to save metal music, you know? So and in horror theme as the final girls. So yo, Deanna, if you want to show up at the Meat Locker tomorrow, I'll be there. And then filmmaker Charles D. Lincoln was going to be back on the show. If you want to see some crazy low budget DIY horror stuff, go check out his 21st Century Demon Hunter in particular just came out on Blu-ray. Includes a song from my band Vonesper in one of the credit sequences. And hello, we have Jesus as a guest now. Who knew? That's a surprise guest. What is he saying? What is he saying to me? Is he preaching?
Something in Spanish.
Is he smoking?
I got this at Monster Palooza the other day. Have you ever gone to those?
Is that like a convention?
Yeah.
I went to the Chiller convention once when I was in high school. I should go to more horror cons.
They're fun.
Yeah, I met Brink Stevens, who was also in my documentary, and I met a couple of the original members of Alice Cooper Group. And Tom Savini was there.
Yeah, I saw him the other day.
Nice. Yeah,
always get chills when I see him. Yeah,
good to know he's still out there doing the rounds.
The coolest.
And I got some other shows coming up. Whatever, man. Like, just check it out.
Check it out.
Fucking Negative Hate, like what I was talking about before. Goth DJ Sean Templar, legend of the New York scene, and one of my latest bookings, Zora Atash. I just filmed her the other week with Lydia Lunch. Do you know anything about Lydia Lunch?
Not a lot.
Punk icon, and she kicked ass. It was cool. I got to film some of her set since
Cool.
with Laura.
That's really cool. You get to like, and I've done this a lot too, and it's awesome that people do this. But like, you've gotten to meet a lot of people that like you look up to and like have listened to and been inspired by over the years. I think that's what's so cool about like this day and
That's
age.
part of it. Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah, I love that for you. That's fucking awesome.
Is there a, well, we kind of covered this, but is
We
Squid
have-
Pisser going to
we have-
perform live sometime soon?
We have 2 shows, one in LA, one in Jerome, Arizona, and then one in Denmark.
This person's in LA, so promote it again.
Where is this? It's at Pennyback Fest with Big Fun. But I don't remember the date, and I don't think it's been announced yet.
Gotcha.
It might be August 4th at Terragram Ballroom. Is I think that's right, but who knows?
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Like all the social medias. Where do you like to hang out most? Instagram or what?
Yeah, I really hate social media stuff. It's a burden, and it's annoying, and it's necessary, and I feel guilty for not doing it all the time, and it's the worst. And but I should kind of embrace it. I just wish I had help. But
Dude,
I have like 7 Instagram accounts or
Yo,
something.
me too.
Yeah, it's too much. So it's tough. When I'll be doing enough for one, but then like, you know, I'll feel really guilty for not fulfilling the other. And it's like hours and hours of my day to like be thoughtful and scour and find photos or whatever it is. I'm just venting. It's annoying.
That's fair. Well, yeah, I have one for each of my shows. I have 3 shows now. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how I became a talking head, but here I am. Of course, Gwar Pod, this one, and here's a question for you. It's totally unrelated, but do you have any connection to the Phantom of the Opera? And if so, do you have a favorite version of the classic tale?
I read.
Speaking of madmen in masks, you know what I mean?
Right. No, I don't know a single thing about it except for I think there was like a Goosebumps adaptation. And
yes, there is. That's a more recent one.
I liked it.
Yeah, right. The classic book. They've turned that into a musical recently. The Goosebumps, the musical, Phantom of the Auditorium.
Right, that's right. I remember liking that when I was in 4th or 5th grade or something. But
that's a legit answer.
Yeah.
I think we did it. Is there anything you want to promote? Anything else that's coming up? Is there, when can we expect the next Squid Pisser record?
Very soon. We're talking to some label people right now about one of them, and then maybe the other one. And so stuff's coming out soon. We have some videos cooking up, and then Cancer Crisis is playing Zebulon this Sunday. Zebulon's in Frogtown, and what else? And then I know there's some other Cancer Crisis shows. But you just check the Instagram. Anthony's running that. Speaking of Instagram and running, a page, St. Anthony is like the greatest Instagram person ever. I don't know if you follow Cancer Christ, but you should. And yeah, so that's about it, I think.
I have one last question about your record here. So the last song is Lord of the Frog, DJ Embryotic Petit Sac remix. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Is there a version of that song that's not a remix?
Yes, and it's on an album that's not out yet.
Okay. So you're doing it kind of backwards.
Just kind of do whatever we want,
Are you gonna do a remix record? Because I would love to get involved with that if you did.
I do
you
like
got stems, send them to me. I'll do a remix.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. I really grew up on all the 9 Inch Nails remix records, like Further Down the Spiral stuff, Fixed and stuff. Totally. So I love doing that stuff. So maybe, but there's always a lot going on. Maybe. And it's always me spearheading that kind of stuff and like keeping track of it also. Maybe eventually. I feel like we missed the opportunity with My Tadpole Legion, but maybe we'll do it on one of the newer ones or something.
Well, maybe once the 3 records are out, you can do one big remix record of all of them.
I guess it's never too late. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like it's all from the same pot, right?
It really is. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Hey, I'd like to help.
Yeah, because you do remix stuff too?
Not really, but I could. I mean, I do music production for myself, so I could remix some music. Why not?
Totally. Yeah.
I'd like to do more. So if any bands are out there listening, like send me your stuff. Let me. I just want to get my name out there because it takes me so long to make stuff. You know, on the side, I can like get my name out there and something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally know what you mean.
Sweet. Well, I think we did it. Fucking Squid Pisser is awesome, dude. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Definitely keep me updated when you're coming to New York. I'll come see you play. Maybe I can come film your show, you know?
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I'll hit you up, or let's talk after this.
Yeah.
Minute. Yeah.
And I guess since I mentioned it, I'll leave you all with a little trailer, one of the short ones, for my documentary about Haunted Garage, because you know what? Until I get some sponsors, I'm going to have to sponsor myself. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
All right. Next week, same day, same time, VonPod. Come with me on this adventure. But again, please like, share, subscribe. This will also be on Spotify. Find us on Spotify in all of its glorious video, indeed. Help me fight the algorithm, guys. I will see y'all later.
What influence did B movies have on the band?
How many tapes do you have? How many loads have you got?
It started out as a band that was covering bad songs from bad movies.
I mean, they should be looked at as a legacy of Los Angeles.
They lived the movie lifestyle.
I had seen many of Dookie's movies long before I knew who he was.
I first saw Dookie Flyswatter in a Green Jello video.
Because as soon as I saw him up on the stage, I go, oh, fuck, that's that guy from Surf Nazis.
Roger Ebert said it's the worst movie he's ever seen.
They were such a part of our scene.
You know, a cult movie that's got its own fans, we've attracted our own fans and our own family.
Within a city of misfits like Hollywood, we were misfits.
He's an icon of the underground exploitational genre.
Punk rock god of Hollywood.
It was neat to see the same faces always orbiting this universe that Dookie Flyswatter seemed to be in the center of.
There was celebrities, weird people, cool people, interesting people.
Axl and Sass came to see us, and I slimed them really good.
Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons.
Tom Waits was there. I remember Fishbone showing up at a couple of gigs.
Courtney Love was afraid of us.
When you're sitting between Dookie and Elvira, it doesn't get any cooler than that.
Spike Lee wasn't impressed.
I'm just about to go on stage and Flea grabs my shoulder.
White Zombie and Haunted Garage and Tool were all in the same bill.
I think Soundgarden was opening for you. I would not be surprised.
I did a nude painting.
Clive Barker owns that painting.
Los Angeles seems to be a haven for insularly popular artist situation. You can destroy here, and nobody knows where you are anywhere else. No. It's crazy.
We'd like to be an A movie someday. A B-A movie. An A-B movie.
A B-A movie?
A B-A.
Like, share, subscribe.